Hi, it's Craig, that fast food guy. Time for another That Fast Food Guy fast food review. Today we're taking a little side road trip from the normal fast food reviews I do and heading into some pizza, more specifically the new Detroit-style pizza from Pizza Hut. Now, being one who is from the state of Michigan and who has eaten quite a bit of Detroit pizza, albeit not the most famous Detroit pizza of them all, I think I had to weigh in on this. I've seen some reviews of some people on some YouTube channels, some who have actually had Buddy's Pizza in Detroit, and we'll get to that in a second, but a few who've never had real Detroit-style pizza. It's hard to make a comparison of Detroit-style pizza with other kinds of pizza if you haven't had the original or the real thing. It's interesting that Detroit-style pizza has become the new hot thing in pizza because there's other styles of pizza that you would think would have maybe overtaken it. Case in point, every part of the country seems to have its own style of pizza. Of course, there's New York-style pizza, which is the big foldable pieces. There's Chicago-style pizza, which is the deep dish pizza. That's hard to make. There's St. Louis-style pizza, which they cut it in that bar cut. So you get like 15 little square pieces of pizza, and it's a real thin crust pizza. There's California-style pizza, which is all the funky toppings. And then there's Detroit-style pizza. Detroit-style pizza started in 1946 at a place called Buddy's Pizza. And Buddy's ended up doing pizza square in pans. They used the blue steel pans that at General Motors and Ford, in the auto factories. Detroit, of course, is, the home of the big three automakers in this country. They had these blue steel pans about this thick that they used to store nuts and bolts and tools in when they were making the cars. Well, the people at Buddy's Pizza got a deal on about 300 of them, bought them. There's a couple of Buddy's locations in Detroit that still use the same pans, almost 75 years old. Okay, that's a pretty big deal. You use these pans over and over and over again. They oil them, they season them, they don't really ever wash them. And it creates this crispy outer crust with a ring of cheese around the outside. And the inside crust is light and airy. And the way they do the toppings is slightly different. There's two different styles of Detroit-style pizza you can find. Probably the one that most people in this country know about is the Little Caesars deep dish pizza. If you get a square deep dish pizza from Little Caesars, that's their version of the Detroit-style pizza. It's basically got the square, because they've got the pans, so it's got the square. It's a square pizza. It's got the cheese around the outside, but it's just got regular toppings on it. The way they make it at Buddy's and at places in Detroit, it's basically the square pan with the crust. They put the cheese over top of it. Then they put two stripes of sauce down the middle and put the toppings in that. That's slightly different. It's almost like a focaccia bread you get, that effect. So the pizza that most people have heard of, a Detroit-style pizza from outside of the actual immediate Detroit and Michigan area, is a slightly different version than the Detroit style. It's interesting that the Pizza Hut version mimics the Buddy's and the Shields Detroit-style pizza. Shields is another place in Detroit that does famous Detroit-style pizza. There's a couple of other Michigan chains. Jets Pizza, which is through the Midwest. Also, Hungry Howie's Pizza does a version of a Detroit-style pizza. But the Detroit-style pizza that is the most authentic Detroit-style has the two stripes of sauce down it. And that's what the Detroit-style pizza from Pizza Hut has. How does it taste? Now, I'll tell you this much. When I picked up the pizza and put it in my car, I could easily tell I had pizza in the car. Not only you can tell it, I could really smell the sauce. And it's almost like, I don't think they did it this way. It's almost like they make the pizza and then they put the sauce on at the end, instead of putting the sauce on and then baking the pizza, which is slightly different. We'll see how that all plays out. But first, let's take a look at this pizza. Oh my. My oh my. I am not going to lie, it looks pretty amazing. Let's see how it tastes. Now, to do this right, you've got to actually have a corner piece. And the corner piece has the cheese, crunchy cheese part around the outside. Now, this piece doesn't really have a lot of it. Maybe I'll have to get a different one. But let's try this first part, and we'll see. You can see the stripe of the sauce on it, the toppings. This is the pepperoni version of the Pizza Hut pizza. There's 4 different kinds. You can get a cheese, you can get a pepperoni, you can get a supreme, and you can get a meat one that's got like 3 different kinds of meat. I just got the pepperoni. It's got 2 different kinds of pepperoni, the normal flat pepperoni and the little curled up pepperoni. That is reminiscent A couple of places, Marco's Pizza is one that has the curled pepperoni on it. So let's see what we got. I'll be really honest. The bottom crust, if you just looked at this, you'd say, oh, it's a pan pizza, because it looks like Pizza Hut's pan pizza. Let's see what we got going on here. Tasty. It's not as thick as a pan pizza from Pizza Hut. The sauce has a good taste to it. It's not as sweet. It's kind of more like a very neutral sauce, but it has a good fresh taste. Let's try some of this pepperoni. That's really good. I've seen more reviews positive about this, but it's a really good piece of pizza. And it's really close to the Detroit style pizza. I'm going to find a piece where the outer crust has got more cheese to it. That's good. This is good pizza. This is good. They're going to have a winner here. Now, this is the weird thing. When I ordered this on the Pizza Hut website, and when I ordered it today, it's the last weekend of January, it wasn't, you had to go into the deals section to find this. Like, they're not really publicizing it very much, which is weird because it has its own box. So it's not like this is just a limited time offer, kind of just, we're just going to throw out there for a couple months and try it. They made their own box with it. I think they're keeping this around for a while. That's strange. So here's one of the side pieces. Boy, this thing is loaded with pepperoni. I am not lying. This one's got the real legitimate. See that? That's the cheese that goes up to the edge and that cooks against the pan and makes that crunchy outer cheese. That's like the signature of the Detroit style pizza. Is that? I think I just lost a piece of pepperoni. All right, let's try this crunchy crust and see how different it is. That's some good stuff right there. That's really good. So in closing, this is a pretty good pizza. There is no way around it. Is it exactly a Detroit style pizza? It's close. It's probably as close. The majority of the country has never heard of Buddy's Pizza or Shields, and you probably don't have a Jets or a Hungry Howie's around you. The Hungry Howie's and Jets are more Midwest. I know Jets is into Chicago, into Ohio, and places like that. So you might have experienced that kind of a deep dish Detroit-style pizza. But if you live in Utah or you live in North Carolina, you're not getting Detroit-style pizza there. This is probably going to be the closest thing you're going to see to Detroit-style pizza because it's even more authentic than the Little Caesars pizza. And Little Caesars is based in Detroit. You would think they would have done a legitimate Detroit-style pizza. So it's really good. I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. It's a solid pizza. It really is. I've heard a couple of people review and say it's the second best pizza that Pizza Hut's ever made. So that's got to say something. Pan pizza at Pizza Hut's pretty good. It is definitely a different sauce than the normal Pizza Hut sauce. The Pizza Hut sauce is normally a little sweeter. This is a little more neutral. Tastes really good. The toppings are good. I think most normal Detroit-style pizza has more cheese on it. Like if you go to Jets or you go to Buddy's, you're going to have more stringy cheese. This didn't seem to have as much. But the crunch and the crust is there. They already really had... It's a lot like a pan pizza to begin with, their pan pizza. So the crust was there. They were able to do the crust pretty close anyway. So I gave it a 2 solid thumbs up. Now look, I love pizza. There's not many pizzas that I try that I go, ugh, I don't like pizza. I mean, pizza's amazing. It usually isn't really fast food pizza. Little Caesar pizza can be considered fast food because you can walk in, walk right out with pizza. You don't have to order it. You don't have to do anything. So we might not do a lot of pizza reviews on this channel because most of the time it's fast food restaurants. But I had to do this one just because of the Detroit angle and because I have a little bit of knowledge of how Detroit-style pizza is. If you like the reviews, if you like fast food reviews, this is your place. Make sure you subscribe, hit the little notification bell so you get a message every time we put up something new. Follow us on Facebook or on Twitter, or take a look at these. These videos might help you too find out more about fast food stuff. It's Craig, that fast food guy. See ya.